I'm live, a minute early as usual, but just wanted to make sure, give everybody a chance to, couple minutes to get everyone on the stream here because I'm trying to get this goddamn wire out of the way so I don't kill myself, but I'm trying to get up. But of course, it's always fucked up. I don't even have a desk, honestly. What I do is I have like these couch pillows and I put my laptop on top of the couch pillows. So yeah, that's how dirt poor I am. And I have a desk for my streams and things like that. But it'll get better. I just need some time, you know. I have a couple couch pillows here. My mouse is right here. I'm right on top of it. So yeah, I'm kind of winging it here. It's a ghetto setup, but it's a setup. It gets me the opportunity to stream. So there you go. Let me let everyone know I'm live, and then we'll start because I do have a lot of things. I need to talk about the Silicon Valley Bank collapse, and if there's time for other things, I'll do it. If not, it's not that important today. What am I doing? Oh, I remember. This ever loads. All right, here we go. I have to start using this scheduled tweet thing more because it's easier that way. I don't have to be sending out tweets at 2, 14, 13, 12, 11. I have the tweet scheduled, ready to go. It sends it out when I tell it to, and that's it. Then I can just share it and, I'll share it around Twitter and stuff, and that's it. Everybody knows I'm live. It's really that simple. So, how's everybody today? Good? Worried about these banks collapsing? Well, I am too, honestly. So, we're on the same boat. Looks like it's a repeat of 2008 all over again. Excuse me. I got something in my throat. By the way, I'm still getting over my allergies, so if I start coughing randomly, I apologize in advance. I just have to, there's not much I can do to control that. So, yep. Let me just do this real quick. Then we'll start. Oops. I fucked up. Let's put that there first. I wanna do that first, and then there you go. And then I'll discuss and I'll show the videos I need to show and give my opinion, and then we'll go from there. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Looks like there's one person on, so what time is it? 2:17. Yeah, I think we're gonna get started because I have a chicken roasting currently in the oven, and I don't really have much time to waste today. So, yep, that's my situation right now. I'm the only one that cooks, so yeah, so I'm kind of fucked. So I have to do as quickly as possible, get the stream in, and then check on my chicken because it's roasting. And that's fine for now, but by 3:30, 4 o'clock, I might need to, put some water in it and make sure it's not burnt because I don't want to eat burnt chicken. So we'll get started in a minute. Just gotta, you know, wet my throat real quick. All right, so we'll get started. As everybody know, unless you're living underneath a rock, Silicon Valley Bank has collapsed as of Friday. Yeah, Friday afternoon. And you know the old adage, you drop your bad news late on a Friday. So by the time Monday comes around, then everything will be good. People will hopefully forget about it. Well, unfortunately, that's an adage from the '90s or before the internet, because we have a 24-hour news cycle now. So, anyways, we all know about, unless live on a rock, of Silicon Valley's bank collapse. Hello there, how are you? Yep, I'm roasting a chicken. So I was wondering, what is that? It was like, oh, it's a chicken. I was like, wait, what is that? It's like, oh, it's a chicken. It took me a minute to figure it out. But yeah, anyway, as everybody knows, the bank has collapsed, and there's more banks, on the brink too. Signature Bank collapsed in New York, based out of New York, over the weekend. So it's another bank, gone. So yep, we're heading into 2008 land again. Not good. Yeah, that's why I lost my job around that time, and I've been struggling ever since. But it's all right, Everything happens for a reason. Now let's start. Seriously, whoops. Let's start. And I want to show you guys this. I saw this statement from Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. He put out a statement. I can make it big enough to read. Maybe let's start with that. Yeah, that's true. 2008 never ended. I mean, the only thing that happened was the banks, got bailed out with no strings attached, and homeowners never got bailed out. Everybody lost their homes, and now very few people have own homes in this country. So yeah, 2008 really never ended, but we're in phase two. More banks are collapsing. I should call it phase two because we never really got out of the recession, or not recession, but the banking crisis, the homeowners crisis. So yeah, this is phase two when more banks collapse, and now that gives the excuse to the World Economic Forum to try to take more control of the U.S. economy and all that other stuff. I know I'm being a little conspiratorial here, but that's where it seems like it's going. So let me read Mr. Bernie Sanders' statement here. I can't do the Brooklyn accent, so if I fuck it up, I fuck it up. Alright, so whoops, let's do this. Hopefully make it like that. Oh, that's perfect. Senator Bernie Sanders issued the following statement of Silicon Valley Bank. Blah, blah, blah. Let's be clear, the failure of Silicon Valley Bank is direct result of an absurd 2008 bank deregulation bill signed by Donald Trump. Oh yeah, of course, this is blame Donald Trump. Trump derangement syndrome. Yes, it's not. I'm not saying Trump is not partly responsible, but what I'm saying is other U.S. presidents were responsible too, like Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Joe Biden. Every U.S. president post 99, the mid 90s, when or the late 90s, when Bill Clinton repealed Glass-Steagall. Every president post that is somewhat responsible for this. Yeah, Bernie's blaming Trump again. Why? No one should be surprised by that. He put the full blame on Trump. That I strongly opposed. 5 years ago, the Republican director of the Congressional Budget Office released a report finding that this legislation would increase the likelihood that a large financial firm with assets between $100 billion and $250 billion would fail. Let's see. Unfortunately, that is precisely what happened. During the debate over legislation, I said, our memory is so short that we learned nothing from 2008 Wall Street crash. Have we learned nothing from the savings and loan disaster in the early 1990s, or the thievery of Wells Fargo over the last couple of years, or the dishonesty of Equifax, or the accounting fraud at Enron, Arthur Andersen, or the failure of long-term capital management, or the billions of dollars in fines a financial institution after financial institution has paid out for illegal or deceptive activities? Sadly, Republican Congress and Trump administration answered all these questions with a resounding no. Now it's not the time for U.S. taxpayers to bail out Silicon Valley Bank. If there's a bailout of Silicon Valley Bank, it must be 100% financed by Wall Street. In large financial institutions, we cannot continue down the road with more socialism for the rich and regular individuals. Blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Same Bernie Sanders talking points as usual. Oops. The same talking points as usual from Bernie Sanders. Like the old man never changes, I mean, he's always is the same goddamn talking points over and over and over again. It's like 2016 never ended for Bernie, and it's the same shit. They say, oh, blah, 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 no socialism for the rich or any shit like that. Nope. Instead, all Trump's fault. Trump derangement syndrome from Bernie Sanders. Everything's Trump's fault. It's not. It's not Bill Clinton's fault. It's not George W. Bush's fault. It's not Joe Biden's fault. It's not Barack Obama's fault. It's Trump. Orange Man Bad 101. That's what that is. Hey Oz, how are you? How are you? Yeah, I'm looking good. How are you doing? All right. So now I'm gonna get to this video here. It's a local news report from Looks like ABC 7 in California. I think San Francisco area. So this has a timeline. How does a bank collapse in 48 hours? The timeline of Silicon Valley banks fall. So let's watch this, and I'll give my reaction throughout.
FDIC now in control. Customers can access up to $250,000 on Monday. But
wait, I'm right here. Where's the old handsome feller? Wait, I'm right here. What's up? Right here. Bernie owns 3 mansions himself. He's rich. It's because of his books. He has like what 2 best-selling books. I was a dumbass and bought his first book. You know, the one at Rapture 2016. It's buried somewhere in my book collection, collecting dust. I haven't read it in years. So yeah, let's get back to this video though.
ABC's Jacqueline Lee explains that's not enough for many companies left struggling to manage their finances.
Silicon Valley Bank, the nation's 16th largest bank, was shut down by the FDIC on Friday after depositors hurried to withdraw money amid concerns over the bank's health.
All our money is in the bank. I don't know how we're going to do our payroll.
Not well known outside Silicon Valley, the bank's customers are largely in the tech and venture.
Yeah, before the collapse, I never really heard of this bank. So this is like a local California type bank. I live in New Jersey, so I've never heard of this bank. So it's a new bank, or not a new bank, but new to me. So that's why it's like Silicon Valley Bank collapse. Like, who is that? What is that? Over the weekend or Friday afternoon when I heard about it first, I was like, okay, let's keep going.
Venture capital space with branches in California and Massachusetts. The bank did business with companies like Shopify, ZipRecruiter, and Pinterest. In an SEC filing, streaming provider Roku said it had $487 million, or 26% of its cash reserves with.
Oops. Yeah, look at that. Roku has $487 million in the bank. Oopsie doopsie. Yeah, you fucked up there, didn't you, Roku? Luckily, I don't have a Roku, but nonetheless.
The bank, the company saying their deposits were largely uninsured.
More oopsies. Yeah, their accounts were not insured. So they get $250,000 from the FDIC, and that's it. They're fucked now because they got no money. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't pronounce this name, but as this individual said, they're fucked. Just like I just said. Yep. They're fucked because they're not going to get most of that money back, I'm willing to bet. Unless the Biden administration bails out that bank, which is what it seems like they're going to go in that direction. So let's continue.
Adrian Mendoza runs a venture capital firm in Boston.
Dollars were being pulled faster than the bank actually had.
According to the FDIC, Silicon Valley Bank had approximately $209 billion in assets and $175 billion in deposits.
Wait, look at that number. Look at that number. They had $209 billion in assets and $175 billion in deposits. That there's a discrepancy there about what? $30 plus million? Wait, 30 plus billion, sorry. And it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. That money's like gone with the wind. As that old movie from the 30s. It's gone with the wind. Sorry, man, the CEOs and the executives of that bank is going to take that money and put it in their pockets, most likely. So all these big companies that had their accounts there are fucked. Am I playing it? No, I'm playing the wrong video. Hold on, whoops.
At the end of last year, the bank's collapse rattled financial markets, the Dow Jones finishing the week down more than 300 points.
When banks experience financial losses, it is and should be a matter of concern.
The FDIC, along with the Treasury Department, say they have a process to deal with bank failures like this, insisting the banking system has been shored up since the financial crisis 15 years ago.
Oh, sure, of course. I mean, there's a system, obviously. I mean, there's a system, guys. Don't worry about it. Everything is just fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, the bank collapsed and everything, and now Signature Bank is also collapsed, which I'll get to in a minute. But don't worry about it. Everything's fine. The banking system's fine. Trust us. Keep your money in your banks. Don't you dare take your monies out, right? Yeah, because if you take your money out, the banking system's fucked. But nonetheless, take your money in. Keep your money in. Keep your money in your accounts. All right, let's keep. It gets worse. Hold on.
Very good risk management since the financial crisis because of changes brought after the crisis. So I think the banking system is probably as strong as it's ever been.
Oh, my ass cheeks. There's no. My ass cheeks. There's no way. I can't believe he just said that. Let's think. Let me go back. I need to. I went back too far. Hold on.
insisting the banking system has been shored up since the financial crisis 15 years ago.
They have very good risk
Wait,
management
wait,
since the
wait.
financial
This motherfucker. He's from Moody. Moody, the one that Wall Street, bribed and talking about. Oh yeah, from 2008. What was that called? Damn, I forget what it's called. Why did I just forget? When Goldman Sachs tried to sell, those assets, those and Moody rated them AAA. Credit was AAA, and turns out they were garbage. All the fake, all the bad mortgages and stuff. I forget the exact wording of that, but yep, exactly. But yeah, I mean, look at this. This guy's from Moody, and he has the nerve, the unmitigated gall to tell us everything's fine. Well, I want to hear this again. I couldn't believe it when I first heard it.
financial crisis because of changes brought after the crisis. So I think the banking system is probably as strong as it's ever been.
And it's important.
Strong. A banking system as strong as it's ever been. My Puerto Rican ass. I'm sorry. If you believe that, then yeah, keep your money in the bank and these banks, and then you wonder why you lost all your money. Especially when you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation or multi-millionaires. Yeah, please keep your money in the bank. Everything will be just fine. Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry. Keep your money in the bank. Yeah, subprime mortgage lending. That's it. That's what I was talking about. I just couldn't remember the word. That's exactly what I was talking about. When Goldman Sachs had all the bad loans and all the bad mortgages, and they package it together and they try to sell the shit to my frozen Canadian. But yeah, but it was yeah. I mean, all the subprime mortgages, they put it together and try to sell it to investors. Hey guys, it's good, it's good. And Moody gave it AAA credit rating, so it was like, and they lied, and people lost money because of that. But yeah, everything's fine. Here we go again. So yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. That's why I said my Puerto Rican ass. But yeah, you're Canadian, so yeah, you're freezing your ass off, I'm sure. But let's finish this up, and I have more videos for you guys. Let me Rick, my buddy Rick here, and they got bailed out and 2 day people. He got bailed out in 2 days. He paid for losses and privatized the profits in capitalism. Hey, I mean, it's capitalism. I mean, that's the system we live under, unfortunately, and there's not much that I mean, capitalism only works for the rich, and that's why I'm living in an apartment with my mother, and I'm fucking 36 years old. So yeah, capitalism sucks, but what can I mean, it's we all. I mean, we get. I can call it out, but what can we do? I mean, we have to keep fighting. Definitely, I'm not saying give up, but holy shit, the chances we have. I mean, it's a uphill battle for sure, but I'll be goddamned if I ever give up. That's why I'm doing these streams and stuff. But I'm gonna call it out. So let's finish this video though.
Important to know the FDIC is insured up to $250,000 per depositor. The FDIC announcing all insured depositors will receive their money no later than Monday. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, New York.
Jacqueline, thank you. And Governor Newsom issuing a statement today saying he's
Look at this greasy politician. Look at Gavin Newsom. Does he look like a greasy politician? You imagine a greasy politician. You imagine Gavin Newsom, or you imagine an Andrew Cuomo type. That's when you say when you have greasy politician in your head, it has to be Gavin Newsom or Andrew Cuomo. They had the perfect hair and they shaved all the time. Unlike me, we haven't shaved yet, and my goatee is all fucked up. But I'm a normal dude. Meanwhile, look at Gavin Newsom. This is a perfectly shaved, perfect, haircut, in the nice suit, etc. But I digress. That's not really important. I just needed to point that out.
touch with the White House and Treasury on this, writing everyone is working with FDIC to stabilize the situation as quickly as possible to protect jobs, people's livelihoods, and the entire innovation ecosystem that has served as a tentpole for our economy.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Hold on. I don't know what this statement means. I mean, if somebody can translate this from politician talk to English or Spanish, I greatly appreciate it. But I don't know what the hell this means. This part right here. This statement to me is meaningless. It's like saying That's basically what he said to me. Excuse me. So that's it for that video. Now I want to give you guys CNN's Erin Burnett. Now she interviewed one of these CEOs who had money. Wait, did I fuck up? No, I want to do this video first. Actually, here we go. Yeah, I'll get to that one in a minute. But yeah, this is Silicon Valley Bank customers left in the cold and dark. This continues. This is from San Francisco, local affiliate from San Francisco, CBS affiliate in San Francisco. I said that 3 times in 3 different ways. Yeah, what economy? But still, I mean, I said that in 3 different ways. The same thing, essentially. So, yeah, this is the CBS San Francisco local affiliate. That's what I meant to say. So I said it in 3 different ways, and I don't know if anybody understood me or not. So, this is another local news report. So, let's watch.
Of Silicon Valley Bank. It lends money to some of the biggest names in the tech world and is the largest bank to fail since the 2008 financial crisis. Now, the collapse all happened in just 48 hours. It started late Wednesday when the bank surprised investors saying it needed to raise more than $2 billion in capital to offset losses from bond sales.
Oops. Look at that, $2 billion in losses. These banks don't give the executives of these banks don't give a shit because they know they're not going to be held personally liable for this. So it's like, oh yeah, let's just invest in ridiculous things, and let's just invest in insane things. And if we lose money, oh well. I mean, we still get our bonuses and we still get our salaries. So who cares, right? It's not our money; it's the depositors' money. But here's the thing with Silicon Valley Bank: it's a difference. Most of their deposits are held by rich people and corporations in Silicon Valley. So, do I really feel bad about it? No, but at the same time, this has now caused kind of a virus-like effect in other banks. Signature Bank has, been shut down basically by the FDIC. So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna hopefully no more banks are affected, but it seems like other banks are gonna get affected too. So here we go again, right? But yeah, I don't feel bad for anybody for the most part, who held money in Silicon Valley Bank. But let's just keep going. Yeah, $2 billion, like, it's gone. It's like, oh, it doesn't exist anymore. Oops. Yeah, exactly, a ripple effect. That's exactly what it is. It's going to get worse before, and the Biden administration are going to get stuck holding the bag here, just like Bush administration was beforehand, 10 years ago. God damn it, play.
So that triggered a panic among the bank's clients who started rapidly withdrawing money. By Thursday, the company's shares tanked 60%. Shares were halted altogether this morning, and the feds have now seized control of the lender. Now, the 40-year-old bank, it is the nation's 16th largest. It provides funding for almost half of the venture-backed tech and healthcare companies in the United States. So Don Land is live at the bank's Menlo Park branch, where actually customers were, you saw this, lining up today trying to withdraw their money. Did they have any success?
No success, Juliet. That long line of customers.
Oops, no success. They're trying to print even more flat currency. Yeah, I mean, it's funny money. They might as well take monopoly money, right, and give it to these banks. That's what they're doing. Because what? It's funny money. That's literally what they're doing. It's literally what they're doing. Like, oh, here's a bunch of money that we printed. We didn't raise taxes to pay this money. We didn't raise taxes. We just printed it from the Fed. Here's a bunch of money into the economy. It turns out inflation is high and there's all other issues. Yeah, who cares? We need to save the banks. So here's a bunch of funny money, monopoly money, and everything will be fine. Inflation won't go higher, right? Oh, yeah, it's not good. It's gonna get worse. Especially the Biden administration plan of just bailing out everybody. With no taxes raised, no anything like that. So let's keep going with
this morning stretch from the front door of the bank all the way into the parking lot. They were making a run for their money, but they were all turned away. And now they wonder and worry, can they get all of their money back? A line of about 50 people deep, waiting in the rain, trying to withdraw their money. They got no money. Instead, they were met with FDIC representatives who told them they can return on Monday and withdraw up to $250,000.
We had more than 215 in this in SVB.
How concerned are you?
I am pretty concerned.
Yegor and Chishkin.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you are concerned, buddy. I mean, you have more than $250,000 in that bank. I'm sure you're concerned. I mean, do I feel bad? No. I mean, he's obviously a multimillionaire, but still, he should. I mean, it's yeah. It was raining too. I just noticed that. Actually, I watched his video. I watched all these videos on the show last night. So right before How Did We Miss That with Indian Reef on INN channel, which check that out, by the way. It's next Sunday too as well. But yeah, I was watching all these videos, which I wanted to play here, and I didn't even notice it was raining until you mentioned it. So thank you for that. It's like, yeah, it's raining. Let's keep going.
Is the co-founder and CEO of InStock.com. They're developing.
Has anybody ever heard of InStock.com? I haven't. That's why I was wondering, what's InStock? InStock. Gravity-defying e-commerce for fulfillment. What is this, kind of like an Amazon? This is not much of a website. Oh, it's for rich people. It looks like an Amazon. I thought it was an Amazon type website. They're trying to compete with Amazon, but it's not much of a website. It's just this. All right, it's just this. See, that's all it is, and the rest of it's nothing. I can't. It says sign in, which I don't have a password for, so get fucked. This is all it is. Inquiry says info at instock.com and InStock Inc. and this little robot machine here. That's all I got here. So, yeah, I have no idea what it is. So, maybe it's fucked because all the money was in Silicon Valley Bank and the company couldn't afford to pay. So that's all we got from a website. So I had no clue what InStock.com even was until I kind of looked into it. So let's go back to the video now. It's not that important.
Warehouse robotics. Yegor says they need the money to keep the research going.
We were not capable to do some of the operations we were hoping to do, but again, it's more about timing. Like, we're okay if everything resumes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no problem. But if we hear estimates that it may take a long time, then we just may need to take some action on our side. Go for a loan.
According to financial analyst S&P Global Market.
Oh yeah, get a loan. You're probably going to need a loan because they're not getting that money back. I don't know how many millions of dollars they had in their bank account, but warehouse robotics, that's what it is? Oh, yeah, because I looked at that was their website. That was their website, and it was nothing. It was just a website with like a little robot coming in. It was like a little like robot thing. So I had no idea what it was, but so this is automation, this website, this company. They're trying to replace warehouse workers. That's what it is? Oh, shit. Yeah, fuck them. I hope they fail. Because I was a warehouse worker very recently. So I don't want some robot replacing my job. Or what was my job. Not anymore, but, you know. Excuse me. All right, let's keep going with this.
Market intelligence, 97% of SVB accounts had above the $250,000 insurance limit.
Holy shit. Did you hear that? It says 97% of account holders had above the $250,000 FDIC limit, the insurance limit. Oh my God. I mean, I have no interest in taxpayer money or government money bailing out any of these people. I don't know about you guys who are watching right now, but I have no interest in having these people being bailed out.
The FDIC says it'll sell off SVB assets and divide that money up for those customers.
It may take a week, a year, 3 months, nobody knows.
And it's that lack of certainty that's keeping many of us awake at night.
Ryan.
Launchpad Capital. This is another dude who had accounts and had an account in this bank. I don't know what Launchpad Capital is. Launchpad Capital is either. I guess it's for rich people again. So let's continue this.
Gilbert is the founder of the Oakland-based venture capital
Yeah,
firm
there it is.
Launchpad.
Venture capital firm.
Launchpad is backing 67 companies that collectively employ more than
Yeah, I agree.
1,000 employees. Many of those companies bank with SVB.
We're reliant on SVB as our bank to move money on behalf of our payroll company into the accounts of our employees. And the key question is, are those funds going to move as planned on Monday morning? That's uncertain. Many folks are living paycheck to paycheck. So I think we want to ensure that people do indeed get...
Not you, buddy. Your employees can be living paycheck to paycheck, but not you. So I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm sure you're pretending to give a shit because you're on the news, but I guarantee you doesn't give a shit out and once the cameras are off.
Paid on time.
Why did SVB fail? San Jose State Assistant Professor Matthew Faulkner teaches corporate finance. He blames inflation and the rising interest rates.
They don't get as much.
How about you stop printing random monopoly money? Excuse me. How about you stop printing random monopoly money and just giving it to banks? I know. Crazy thought. To stop printing monopoly money because taxes never been raised to pay for any of the wars, to pay for the bank bailouts. No taxes are ever raised. So this is all funny money we're talking about here. This is monopoly money's worth more than the money they're giving to these banks and stuff. And poor multi-millionaires lose 20% of their wealth. I mean, it's I don't really feel bad either. On that too, how about we stop sanctioning Russia? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. It's not as simple as printing new money and inflation, but yeah, I mean, it's all these other factors together which is leading to these problems, which the Biden administration actively doing for reasons. I mean, could be because the president is insane or incompetent, but because he's mentally incompetent because he's nearly 80 years old and it's obvious. It's obvious that he's not all there. It's like yeah, he's sundowning. Because he's so old. All right, let's keep going.
See money investments are slowing down. They're not accessing capital as easily. So it started with some of those companies starting to pull out some money to pay their people, to continue their operations, and they're not necessarily having that new money flow in behind it.
Many customers are staying optimistic and hoping they'll get all of their money back.
You hit your highs and you hit your lows, but we're all about standing up and moving forward.
A lot of the tech CEOs who were here trying to get their money.
Who, the professor or the other dude? Never worked with his hands. Oh no, I mean none of these people did. That's why these are the elites that are losing their money. That's why everybody is losing their minds here. It's like, oh my God, the elites are losing their money. The venture capitalists, CEOs are not losing their money. This is not good. This is not good. If it was like a Bank of America or any of these banks that hold normal Americans' money, they wouldn't give a shit as much. This is a little bit more of this one.
Money out, they did not want to go on camera. They were telling me a lot of their
Oh
workers...
no, I'm sure they didn't want to go on camera. They're embarrassed. It's like, oh shit, we lost all our money because we trusted this bank, who was investing, who didn't give a shit about us, and we're investing in crap government bonds, and now because the interest rates are going up, they're fucked. But they were too embarrassed to go on camera. Well, obviously.
still don't know they may not get paid next week. They say $250,000 do not last very long in their world. That's why one CEO was even telling me they may have to scale back or even shut down if they can't get another loan. So Juliette, this collapse here could lead to more layoffs in the tech sector.
Yeah, we hope that doesn't happen. And I know that over the weekend there'll be some maneuvering happening. We'll see what happens come Monday as well. Maybe there'll be some new information. All right, Daw, thank you for that. All right, Silicon Valley Congress.
Well, yeah, I mean, the elite's privacy, they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to be embarrassed on camera. Very few, that one dude, that couple dudes that went on the camera, I'm surprised they did, but, I mean, I'm not sure they wanted attention for themselves and their companies or whatever, maybe get sympathy, but most of the elites are not going to want to go on camera and like, oh yeah, by the way, we lost our money and, we feel bad and, it's not fair, blah, But yeah, most of them, they're not going to want to get on go on camera. Yeah, I mean, our privacy is unimportant. Gives a shit. We're the lowest rung on the economic ladder. You can't you can't get your money, but you can apply for another loan. Well, yeah, I mean, because banks have to make more money, so even elites are like, oh yeah, just apply for a loan. It's not a big deal, right? Your companies are worth billions. Oh yeah, I'll get the statement from Rokana. I'll get to this right now, in fact. So yeah, I wanted to get to this.
Congressman Ro Khanna says this will impact thousands of people in his district. He released a statement saying he is working to ensure customers have access to their funds so startup employees are paid. He added, quote, "We need to carefully monitor that this does not spread to other banks and be prepared to take comprehensive action if it does."
Oh, what's that mean? What the fuck does that mean? We need to carefully monitor that this doesn't spread to other banks. Well, you failed in that because Signature Bank's already shut down, and there's other banks that are struggling right now too. So I'll show you that. In fact, hold on. Just have to go to my Twitter account. I bookmarked some tweets, after I saw this because clearly Rokana failed miserably. So let's go here. Here it is. So as you can see here, there's First Republic Bank. Here it is right there. This is from this morning. I saw this. Just in, First Republic Bank plunges 66.6% in pre-market. Yeah, their worth has plunged 66%. Holy fuck. Look at that. They clearly failed at that. Let's go back. This is Signature Bank. This is from last night. Breaking, another bank is shut. The U.S. regulators on Sunday shut down New York-based Signature Bank in a bid to prevent the spreading banking crisis. That's their statement there. We're harming the Treasury. I'm not going to read all this. But yeah, another bank is fucked. So clearly Rokana didn't do what he promised, which was make sure this wouldn't happen to the banks. Or to be fair, let me be fair here. Let me go back to what he said, actually. We need to carefully monitor that this doesn't spread to other banks, which he didn't do because it spread to other banks, and take comprehensive action if it does. What does that mean? Another bank bailout? That's my guess. Because I don't see him bailing out the American people. There's no way in hell the government bails out the American people of their deposits. They didn't do 2008. We were fucked. Or we lost our homes. We lost everything, but more taxpayer money for the super rich. More printed money from the Fed into banks, which also go to rich people. That's what this is about. They're going to get paid with fake money, with monopoly money, while inflation goes up. We have $8 because I know in California a dozen eggs like $8. Here in New Jersey, it's up to $5 or $6. We could barely afford eggs here. I love eggs too. I use eggs quite a bit for my meals. But yeah, I mean, who cares as long as the super rich get bailed out. All right, so I want to go to now Erin Burnett of CNN. Now she's going to interview one of these CEOs that somehow managed to get all their money out. And she says a lot of things, which I want to respond to, which is why I want to play this video. So here's CNN's own Erin Burnett. In fact, I remember her from CNBC years ago when she first worked there. Yeah, I know I'm a nerd, that watches the news, and even back in my 20s, but yeah, I do remember her from CNBC, and she's married to a Wall Street banker. So there it is. She's fully invested in this system because not only she makes a lot of money off it, but her husband does too. The super rich only eats golden eggs when we need to bail them out. Yeah, I mean, they have our government by the balls. With all the donations they give to politicians, they have them by the balls, and there's nothing that they can do. They have to bail out these banks, or else the donations will dry up for their campaigns. So that's how our system works. So let's watch CNN's Erin Burnett.
Collapse since the 2008 financial crisis, and it shut down today.
It's called Silicon Valley Bank, and it is one of the tech industry's largest lenders, also lends to individuals across the country. It is now under control of the federal government. It was a sudden implosion, and it came after a run on deposits. So the bank stock lost 80% of its value this week.
She was on Morning Joe? I don't remember that, but I do remember from seeing. Oh, yeah, because she was on CNBC. So, yeah, that makes sense. She was on Morning Joe, too. I don't remember her being on Morning Joe. I do remember her CNBC. Yeah, she's married to a Wall Street banker or criminal. Yeah, I do know that because I was kind of watching cable news 10, 15 years ago, so I do know that she married a Wall Street man. Yeah, of course she's impartial, right? I mean, she has to be impartial, obviously. I mean, she's part of the system, so so her husband, not only she's part of the system, her husband is too, and he's deeply involved in the system, being a Wall Street guy.
This week, 60% in one day alone. Yesterday, this morning, shares halted. It was over quickly. And then police showed up at the bank headquarters in California today. You're looking at that here. Customers reportedly even lined up at a bank branch on Park.
Well, there it is. They called the police because people are coming and get their money, and they didn't have the money. So what it was law enforcement for? Of course, to protect the elite and their money and their property, right? I mean, that's why you call the police. And I have another story that I'm going to show you in a second where the NYPD were called in to protect Signature Bank because they didn't have the money either to withdraw, to give money to their customers to withdraw. So the NYPD were called there too to the Signature Bank in New York. But let's keep going with this one for now.
Park Avenue in New York City. The NYPD showed up there.
Yeah.
Those customers demanding their deposits back. Now, to be clear, Silicon Valley Bank is a huge bank, and its customers include individuals as well as household names you may know, like Airbnb, Pinterest, Cisco. And this is a way bigger story. The entire banking industry is feeling the impact. U.S. banks at one point had lost over $100 billion in stock market value in just 2 days. And there are...
Oops. You see that $100 billion is gone in 2 days. $100 billion, it's gone. Who knows where it's at? I don't know. She used to be hot. Well, 15 years ago, yeah. I mean, that's why I would watch her show on CNBC, not because I paid attention, because she was attractive, but nonetheless, yeah. I mean, that's $100 billion gone, and like that. Let's keep going.
There are fears now that this could spread beyond banking to other parts of the economy.
This is like the S&L crisis in the 80s.
We're not talking about a failure of this bank, but that banks could, fail.
So
that's not off the question.
This is clearly an example of something breaking. We can assume that there's serious contagion here.
Okay, so when you use the word contagion, it begs the question, why could this happen at other banks? Well, for one basic reason, Silicon Valley Bank was doing what a lot of other banks are doing right now. SVB took customer deposits, and they went and invested that money in other things like U.S. government debt and mortgages. And they had been doing that for quite a while. Well, when the Fed started to hike rates aggressively, that meant that Silicon Valley Bank immediately lost money on those investments. And at the very same time as they were...
Well, that's because they invested in U.S. government bonds that had no interest. As soon as the interest rate went up, they lost money. Whose fault is that? Why are they investing in U.S. government bonds? Again, I'm not an economist, I'm not an expert, but common sense would tell me that that's a terrible idea to invest in U.S. bonds, and you use depositor money to invest in U.S. bonds or shitty mortgages like they did in 2008, whatever they were doing, because they didn't give a shit. Because ultimately they were making money off the transaction fees. That's what they were making money off us. They didn't give a shit. Once again, they gambled with our money and they lost again. And now it's like they're running to the government for their bailouts. They did 2008, 18, 15, 16 years ago at this point. They're doing it again, and now the government has to bail them out or let them fail. And what happens then? There's no way they're nationalizing the banks. Like some leftists talking about nationalizing all the banks. Like that would be the ideal solution, but there's no way they're doing that. The federal government is not nationalizing these banks. So let's keep more of this.
They were losing money as interest rates rose. Those bank customers, those depositors, they needed to withdraw more money.
So SVB started to sell assets, losing money just to raise the money needed to make good on deposit withdrawal requests. And then that turned into a spiral of fear and a race among customers to withdraw assets, the run on the bank. And yesterday afternoon, the CEO of Silicon Valley Bank, his name is Greg Becker, hosted a call with clients and said, quote, "My ask is to stay calm because that's what's important. We have been long-term supporters of you. The last thing we need you to do is panic."
When a bank CEO tells you to stay calm, you know they're fucked. You know they're fucked. They are absolutely fucked, and they know it. That's why they're asking their depositors and their clients to stay calm. Yeah, stay calm. Don't take the money out of the banks. Don't you dare take the money out of the banks. We need that money. But stay calm. Stay calm. Do yoga, Zen, woosah. Do that, please. Don't take the money out because we're gonna go belly up quickly here. That's what he's saying. Stay calm. Stay calm. Don't take my money. I need the money. We need the money in order to invest it and to waste it in useless government bonds and God knows what else they invested in. Pesky customers wanting to withdraw their own money. Yeah, how dare they, right? I mean, even if those customers are millionaires and billionaires, but it's still their money, I mean, CEO call. This is a bank. The CEO of Honestly, if I were you, Karen, yeah, I would probably whatever bank you use, I probably withdraw it now before whatever bank you use ends up, going belly up. Excuse me. Before they go belly up, anybody in the stream who's watching right now, I would recommend you probably start withdrawing your money and closing your accounts just in case. I'm not hoping the bank you use fails, but just in case, just get your money out and keep the cash somewhere in your house safe. Because it's honestly safer there than in one of these banks, who use your deposit money to invest in crap, and then the bank goes belly up. Well, there's still hope. People are the other side will argue. Well, that's the FDIC, and they insure deposit of $250,000. Yeah, but who knows how long it's take to get your money? Who knows? You got to pay bills. You got to pay your taxes in your house. You got to pay. You got to pay for food. You got to pay for all this other stuff, and and you need money. You need liquid capital, money, whatever, in order to pay your bills and stuff. You go back to bed, America. Your corporate overloads everything under control. Yeah, I mean, of course. My husband's argued with me that I'm saying I'm conspiracy nut. No, I mean it. It's. I mean, I don't know how into news he is, but this is all 2008. You could see it coming if you remember 2008. This is all over again. I would recommend. Again, I'm not an economist, I'm not an expert, but I could see it coming. Like, here we go again. Signature Bank is shut down. There's another bank. What was it? Damn. I just said it like 5 minutes ago. The First National Bank. Let me check my Twitter real quick. I have my bookmarks. First Republic Bank. Yeah, that bank is going belly up too. It seems like so. There's 3 banks already. 3. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. So there's 3 banks already about to go belly. 2 went belly up, and 1 who's about to go belly up. Better be a conspiracy nut with money than without. Yeah, it's true. I mean, again, it it's important to realize that money. You need money to pay your bills, and if you don't have any money because you trusting these banks, the hell was that? You're trusting your money with with these banks who don't give a shit about you, and Glass-Steagall isn't around, so investment banks and commercial and banks, for deposits are merged, so they'll use depositor money to invest in crap like government bonds and useless mortgages. They don't care because ultimately what they make money off of is the transaction fees. The executives don't care. It happened in 2008. It's happening again. So, yeah. The FDIC doesn't have enough money to cover. Yeah, I mean, they have a limited budget too. I mean, the $250,000 number was from the 1930s. It's a relic from the 1930s. So back in 1930s, $250,000 was a lot of money. Today, that's a cost of a house in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey. I know. I live in public housing. That's why it's like there's no way I could afford a house, let alone rent in New Jersey. So yeah, I mean it's a relic, and then FDIC doesn't have the budget to pay out all these account holders. So if I were anyone watching the stream or anybody, I would definitely recommend taking money out of these banks, especially these big banks like Bank of America and Wells Fargo and all the other big banks that Chase, etc. I'm trying to talk to my mom because she has a Bank of America account and she has some money in there, and it's like, yeah, you need to get, but she's stubborn too. She won't listen to me. So we'll see. 200 billion. I mean, yeah, I mean that's not a lot of money when you're talking about $250,000 per depositor. That money's gonna dry up like that. Yeah, let's go back to this Aaron Burnett video. I might not play this whole thing, but I want to show you the interview she does with one of these CEOs that she wants you to feel sorry for.
Well, when that's the ask, as a bank, you're toast. And one person familiar with the situation asking me the hypothetical question tonight, what prevents runs on a whole bunch more banks next week? Unclear. It is an important moment, and tonight the Deputy Treasury Secretary, Wally Adeyemo, is trying to calm fears in an exclusive interview with CNN.
Federal regulators are paying attention to this.
Now, this is Biden administration official Wally Adeyemo. I just butchered his name, but whatever. He's the Deputy Treasury Secretary. He's going to try to calm us down and make sure we get money out of the banks. Of course, he's going to fail miserably because get a load of what he says here.
Particular financial institution. Federal regulators are paying attention to this particular financial institution.
Oh, yeah, sure. The federal regulators are paying attention, except when they're not, and this bank already failed because they're using depositor money to invest in crap. So, yeah, but they're paying attention, guys. Don't worry.
And that when we think about the broader financial system, we're very confident in the resilience of the system.
Allison Greenberg is out front. She is the CEO of Ruth Health. It's a maternity care startup that has money deposited in Silicon Valley.
So this is the CEO that Aaron Burnett's interviewing at CNN here. And they're going to talk, they're going to want her to feel bad. They're going to want you to feel bad for the CEO, even though it turned out she got all her money out, or most of her money out of Silicon Valley Bank, because she had a friend on the inside. She had a friend that let her know on the inside that, oh yeah, Silicon Valley Bank is kind of collapsing here, so you need to get your money out now. And she somehow got that information. Yeah, Wally's definitely scared. He's like, hold on, let me go back to Wally. I think.
And
he has this face. Hold on. Everything's fine, guys. I mean, don't take your money out of the banks, though. I don't know much about Wally personally, but I can almost guarantee he worked at a bank before becoming Deputy Treasury Secretary. He's like, oh, don't worry about it, guys. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Keep your money in the banks, because if they collapse, I mean, I can't get a job at Bank of America again. What? I said that out loud? I'm sorry. But please, keep your money in the banks. So let's go back to this. But yeah, it turns out that this CEO right here, this woman, she had a buddy who let her know that Silicon Valley Bank was collapsing beforehand. Like before a few other people knew, and she got most of her money out. She managed to get most of her money out from her company. So let's I'm gonna let you hear that part.
The CEO of Ruth Health. It's a maternity care startup that has money deposited in Silicon Valley Bank. So, Allison, thank you very much for being with me. So you are right in the middle of this. Let's just start with when you realized you're a startup, you've got money at this bank, you're using that money to make payroll and other things. When did you find out something was wrong?
So my co-founder, Audrey Wu, and I received an email from one of our seed investors. The email seemed cryptic. It was strange. It was urgent. It was not like the other emails he sent.
Wait, so how?
It was an email from one of our seed investors.
Say, she got an email from one of her seed investors, whatever that means, one of her initial investors in her company, and to let her know. Let her actually finish.
The email seemed cryptic. It was strange. It was urgent. It was not like the other emails he sends. And we were in meetings. We run a busy maternal health startup. We have so many concerns every day that this email just didn't make sense. So a few hours later, I called the investor and I said, hey, what was this email about? He was out of breath, like he had just run a marathon. And he said, take your money out of SBB, go into your account, take your money out as soon as possible. And, as a business owner, my co-founder, Audrey, and I constantly think about two things. We think about our team, the people we employ and their families, and we think about our patients.
No, she doesn't. I guarantee you she's thinking about her own money. But Rick makes a good point. And I made this point too. When I said she had an insider, her one of her seed investors, which she doesn't name, by the way, who told her beforehand, oh yeah, take your money out of SVB Bank. Take your money out of SVB Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, because they're collapsing. How does she know this before anybody else does? Because she ends up having taken most of her money out. She admits it here a little later, but she ends up taking most of her money out, which to me it's questioning the legality of this. How does she know before anybody else? How did this seed investor that she has in her company know before anybody else? This bank is falling apart and quickly. But let me play you the part. Let me play until she says to the part, she got most of her money out, because she does admit this.
The mothers, the new moms, and the families that we support and their families. And so for us, it was do this now or else.
Okay, and this was what, yesterday or the day before?
This was yesterday between the hours of noon and 3 p.m.
Okay, yesterday between the hours of noon and 3 p.m. you get this. So then you do it. You go and and how does that happen? They actually give you the money? I mean, these are the 3 hours before the world fell apart. So what happened then?
Well, we were incredibly lucky to have that news early from an investor. We didn't withdraw the money.
But we were incredibly lucky, guys, that we got that investor, whoever this person is, who's probably an insider at Silicon Valley Bank. I'm speculating, to be fair. I don't know whether this person is a part of Silicon Valley Bank or what, but that's speculation on my part. Yeah, she got her money. She'll admit it a little bit later. She got excuse me. She got most of her money. She'll claim that she's under a $250,000 FDIC limit. So if she got, then she'll get all her money. So she's fine. But people want her Aaron Burnett wants her to feel sorry for the CEO, even though she got all her money out. And she's going to get all her money from the FDIC. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That when I saw this, I was like, last night, I was like, isn't this insider trading? How did she get this information where anybody else did? That's what I was wondering. Like, how did she get this information where anybody else did? She had a seed investor tell her this. Again, I'm speculating here when I say this, guys. I don't want you to take this literally, 100% this is what happened. But my guess, it'll turn out that, or if this ever comes out, I don't know. But my guess is that she has a lover inside of Silicon Valley Bank who called her and hey, look, this bank is falling apart. Get your money out. Get your money out before 5 p.m. today on Friday. Get your money out, because that way, you'll be good. Get under the FDIC insurance limit, and you're straight. You'll get all your money. So, yeah, I'll see you tonight, baby. Again, that's my guess. I'm speculating, pure speculation here, and this is all speculation. That part, what I just said, but that's my guess. So, yeah, and like you said, she's self-snitching. Yeah, she's admitting that she had an insider. My guess is that at the bank, that she was falling apart in, and that's my guess. I mean, again, speculation. I don't want to get sued, or I don't want to get in trouble for saying that, but it's speculation. Okay, let's keep going.
Money immediately. We're conscientious business owners. We spoke to a few other investors. We spoke to friends. I mean, this is like calls going off the hook for the last 36 hours. When we felt confident that this was going to be a crisis, Audrey acted fast. And this is the kind of fear that actually incites focus. We withdrew the money through transfers and wires as soon as possible. I mean, she was withdrawing small amounts, big amounts, just to not set off an AI that might limit our withdrawals. And we were able to remove, this was not our only bank account, but we were able to remove the majority of the funds so that what was left when the website crashed was below the $250,000 FDIC.
Right, so you have money there.
Okay. See, she just admitted it. She's like, oh, yeah, we were able to withdraw most of our money through small wire transfers and other stuff in order to trick the AI to stop us from withdrawing our money. And she got under $250,000 FDIC limit, so she's straight. She can get all her money. So she doesn't have to worry about what the rest. Yeah, I know that it. Why is she admitting this on CNN? I don't know. Maybe she thinks she'll get away with it. I don't know, but again, that my guess, and this is speculation. Like I said before, she had a lover inside of Silicon Valley Bank, either a man or a woman. Again, I don't know whether her sexuality, but I'm not going to say man because these days, a lot of women date women. But she got a call, and she let her know that, or he or she let her know that, hey, Silicon Valley is falling apart, guys. Okay, make sure you get your money out before anybody else gets it. Anybody else notices, I mean, it's falling apart. She'll get away with it. I mean, that's why she's admitting it in CNN because what is the SEC going to come after her? No, they don't have enough investigators to go after her. They don't have the budget. So yeah, I mean, it's like this bank's falling apart. Get your money out, sweetheart. I'll see you tonight. Okay, I love you. Bye. That's what that was. And again, speculation, pure speculation, guys. I don't want this if this happens to go out viral somehow. I don't want people to think that I have insider information. I don't. I'm just saying. I'm speculating. All right, so I don't need to play any more of this. I want to get to the other banks. Signature Bank now. This is a local New York affiliate here. This is a local New York affiliate where it said NYPD called to New York City branch of Silicon Valley Bank and largest bank failure since 2008. Again, all right. I want to feature this again from Karen. My husband handles wire transfers. Bank routinely deny wire transfers because they're afraid of fraud. Yeah, and somehow she managed to get her money out through wire transfers. How did she do that? Again, I'll speculate. She had somebody on the inside, a lover on the inside of Silicon Valley Bank who helped her through these transfers, no problem. Again, true speculation. That's literally speculation. I have no evidence for this. I don't have any information to prove this. I don't have any evidence. It's speculation, okay? But yeah, she knows somebody inside that bank to help her get through the process quicker. All right. So let's play this. It's Silicon Valley Bank in New York, though.
A huge shocker in the finance world that rocked the markets for a time today. Silicon Valley Bank, a favorite of the tech industry with offices here in New York, failed today. It is the largest bank failure since the banking crisis back in 2008. Customers tonight, of course, demanding answers and their money. The question is, could other banks be next? Here's Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim.
Panicked customers in the Flatiron District scrambled this morning, but customers arrived to find the Silicon Valley Bank was closed. This morning, the NYPD responded to a 911 call from employees at this bank branch on Park Avenue South because upset clients showed up trying to pull their cash out. It was the same in California.
All our money is in the bank. I don't know how we're going to do our payroll. I don't know what we're going to do now.
I hope we get most of it back, but yeah, it's definitely a concern.
It's the biggest bank failure since the 2008 financial crisis. Regulators this morning shut down and seized the assets of the bank, a go-to lender to the tech industry. High interest rates left many with less cash on hand, forcing them to withdraw more to make their expenses. Panic spread on Wall Street in just 48 hours, but experts say this is not an economy-wide problem. The bank stock plunged as customers started...
No. See, it's not an economy-wide problem, according to the experts. Trust the experts, okay? Excuse me. Trust the experts. It's not an economy-wide problem. Keep your money in the banks. So again, local media is basically pulling, like, basically, being stenographers for the government here, for the quote unquote regulators.
Pulling their money out.
Once that happens, it's just inevitable it's going to fail.
We are in a fundamentally different position that, with the reforms of the global financial crisis of 2007, 2008, we've put in place stress tests and other tools that our regulators have to provide more resilience to our banking system.
In Manhattan.
And most of that was repealed by Democrats and Republicans. Yeah, she's talking about Dodd-Frank. Most of that were repealed over the last 10 years. So, yeah, I don't know what she's talking about there. Most of those new regulations were kind of repealed. Were kind of repealed. No, they were repealed. I mean, there's very few regulations on these banks these days. Cops will make sure you cannot reach your money, folks. Yeah, I mean, the cops are there to protect property and to protect the elites. They're not really there to protect regular citizens from bank malfeasance,
Manhattan. Stefan Kim, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
All right, that's that. So, yeah, I mean, this is from a local New York affiliate, and it's the same thing. You notice they called NYPD. Again, they called local police whenever, like, there's a rush at the bank to get your money out. They're like, oh yeah, call the police. Holy shit, they're trying to get their money out. And then they're doing a bank robbery. Like, these people are coming in with guns and weapons or whatever, or doing bank robberies. No, it's their money. It's their deposits. And it's like, oh, call the NYPD, call the LAPD, call San Francisco Police Department, whatever. Call police. Protect us from, excuse me, to protect us from the normal citizens trying to get their money, All right. So this is from Signature Bank now. This was from last night or from yesterday at some point. I do remember seeing this. I remember hearing this. I happened to have this on while I was doing other things, and holy shit! Like, what is this? Like, holy shit! Really? Another bank failed? That's when I first heard about Signature Bank failing. So,
News to tell you about tonight. This developing story. People worried about their money, and for good reason. Financial regulators shut down New York-based Signature Bank in a move designed to slow down a banking crisis 2 days after the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank in California.
See, they shut down Signature Bank because they were trying to slow down people from getting their money out. Like, oh yeah, don't take your money out. The FDIC is here. We're shutting down this bank. You can't get your money. You're fucked. I mean, I'm not sure Signature Bank. I never heard of them either, so this is new. This is a new bank for me too. I'm not sure if they had, like, unlike Silicon Valley Bank, I'm not sure if they had normal depositors or they had corporate depositors. I don't know exactly about them, but yeah, immediate shutdown. Make sure people don't get their money out until the FDIC comes in and figures out what they're doing, and then gives people a fraction of what their money is actually worth. So that's probably what's going to happen here. It's like with Silicon Valley Bank. But let's see, let's keep going with this report, though.
California. Tonight, some analysts fear this is just the beginning. Eyewitness News reporter Lucy Yang on the Upper East Side. Lucy?
Well, that's right, Sandra. On Friday, a tech bank, a very large tech bank, went belly up. Tonight, a crypto bank here on the other side of the country follows suit.
It's a crypto bank. That's why I don't really deal in cryptocurrency. I never heard of them, but I never heard of I never heard of Signature Bank, but I didn't know there was crypto banks, like literally just dealing in cryptocurrencies, which is interesting. But
Bank, which has an office behind me, is now in the hands of the FDIC. And no matter how you read these tea leaves, these are very troubling financial developments. Another bank bites the dust, and tonight fears are mounting. How many others are teetering on the brink of bankruptcy? Signature Bank is a big cryptocurrency lender in New York. On Sunday, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC, took over its assets worth more than $110 billion and more than $88 billion in deposits. Signature is now.
Did you hear that? They have $110 billion in assets, but they only wait. Let me make sure of this. I don't want to get this wrong.
Dollars. See, took over its assets worth more than $110 billion and more than $88 billion.
So they have $110 billion in assets, and they have 80 some $billion in deposits. In other words, they take money, they take the depositor money, invest it in crap, and then they don't have enough money to cover the withdrawals, which is what happened with Silicon Valley Bank again. I mean, it's like here we go again with banks doing whatever they want to do, and basically as a casino, gambling away money. It's not their own money. No. It's depositor money. It's my money. It's your money. It's whatever. So yeah, I mean, I'd never heard of it. They claim on the news report they claim it's a crypto bank. They mostly cover cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. So it has to be wealthy people deal more in cryptocurrencies than what normal Americans would do with.
In deposits. Signature is now the third largest bank to fall into financial failure in U.S. history. On Friday, the second largest bank to go belly up sent shockwaves from California. Silicon Valley Bank, which catered to the tech industry, started selling assets last Wednesday to balance its books. Instead, panic took over as customers and investors demanded their money. The FDIC had to step in to contain the fire. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen adamant on Sunday that banks are not going to be rescued again by taxpayers.
During the
Yeah, that's a lie. I guarantee you, at some point, they'll either through the Fed or through some other backdoor way, they'll give money to these banks. It's a near certainty.
financial crisis, there were investors and owners of systemic large banks that were bailed out. We're not going to do that again.
Oh no, of course not.
Regulators assuring mom and pop.
Oh no, of course not. They're not going to do that again. But they don't have to do that again. They'll just do it through a roundabout way, either through the Fed, because the Fed, they don't. Nobody. Yeah, she is lying. I guarantee you, she's lying. They're going to do some sort of backdoor bailout, either through the Fed, because they're not going to pass another bailout bill. It's going to be deeply unpopular among the country, among the Americans, and they don't want to take that political risk. So what they'll do is they'll do it through a backdoor, either through the Fed or through quantitative easing or some sort of maneuver where they can get liquid money into these banks.
Customers on Main Street, they will not get burned.
So right now, I'm just kind of in a holding pattern. There's nothing I can do about it, fortunately.
The race is now on to find a buyer for Silicon Valley Bank.
The best outcome will be, can they find a buyer for this SVB bank?
Wait, is Mark Warner a Republican? Is he a Democrat? It said Republican there, didn't it?
Race is now on to find a buyer for Silicon Valley Bank.
The best outcome will be, can they find a...
He's a Democrat. It says R next to his name. But he's a Democrat. He's not a Republican. That's obviously a mistake. I could have sworn he's a Democrat. But yeah, they're trying... I don't know who's going to buy this bank. Like, who's going to buy Silicon Valley Bank when it's basically going into bankruptcy? Nobody. Dick. No billionaires would be stupid enough to buy a bank that's going to bankruptcy.
A buyer for this SVB bank today before the markets open in Asia later in the day.
Silicon Valley Bank may be the first domino to fall. Clearly, it's not the last. Now, here's an important detail. The FDIC insures depositors up to $250,000. Anything beyond that is considered too bad, so sad. But in this case, the FDIC is promising to make all depositors whole. That means 100% insured. That is a gamble. But is it enough to stop customers from making a run on the banks? Is it enough to keep other banks from collapsing?
No, there's no way that the FDIC can make everyone 100% whole in their money. Like Karen said, their budget is like, what, $200 billion? Like, there's no way that they can make every depositor of these banks whole. It's not happening. Not with $200 billion, unless Congress passes like an emergency bill, to fund it to the point where they can make everyone whole. But there's no way that they can make everyone unless Congress passes some sort of emergency bill in order to make everyone whole. Every American whole that holds accounts in these banks, and it's gonna get worse. I already told you about this is the third time now that I forgot the name of this bank. That's failing as well. Fuck. First Republic Bank. Yeah, that bank's also failing too. I mean, let me see something here. Let me see if there's any updates on the banks that are collapsing. Or oh, look at this! I just found this, guys. Look, hold on. Oops. Look at this. I don't know what the Jericho report is. This investigative blog, but look at this. Uh, According to the Jericho report, I'm not sure how. Never heard of them, but it says more than 30 banks have been placed under trading halts, which means that look at this, 30 banks. This is right there. Yep. Look at that, 30 banks have been placed under trading halts today. The 13th. Today's the 13th. All these banks have been placed under trading halts. They cannot trade anymore. Oops. Let me go back to that. I just found this. I didn't even know about this. I had all my videos planned and all my coverage, and I just happened to check, and it's like, excuse me. Some of these banks are already in place in the trading halt due to second time due to volatility. Yeah, I didn't say that right, but whatever. East West Bank Corp down 32%, Comerica down 39%, Bank of Hawaii down 42%, Western Alliance Bank down 62% under a second trading halt. Charles Schwab has been halted, so Charles Schwab is not even trading anymore. Breaking trust, 10th largest bank in the U.S. It gets worse. Key Corp down 29%, Western Alliance 82%, Republic down 70%, First Republic down 73%, Fifth Third Bank down 25%, Comerica down 50.4%. Look at this. Holy fuck. PNC. I could look. Doesn't say anything about PNC though. Oops. Customers Bank Corp. Is alphabetical order? Be easier if it was. Yeah, I don't see PNC though. Oops, I fucked up. I can't see it all. There's only 2 pages of this thing, and I don't see PNC Bank here as of now. I mean, that could have changed. This is 5 hours ago. These tweets were sent out 5 hours ago. Maybe that's changed by now. This is now happening in real time. So investors of failed banks will not be protected, Biden says. Get ready, folks. Investors start pulling out their money. More we set to fail. Yeah, it's going to get worse. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any other breaking news as of now. Because it would be here. Yeah, let's see. I don't think there's any other thing. As of now, I don't see. Bank crash, bank collapse, failed banks taking BlackRock down with them. BlackRock down $113 a share. Oh, so BlackRock's down. So that's somewhat good news there. BlackRock is down $113 since the beginning of trading today. Yeah, I was just searching there and I saw that too. Biden's face. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, the Biden administration is going to be holding the bag here for this. They can try to blame Trump all they want, and they try to blame Bush all they want, but ultimately, it's going to be on the Biden administration. Oh, I forgot Trump made a guest appearance on Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I saw this episode. For some reason, I forgot that Trump did make a guest appearance on there. Bank collapse. President Trump announces America First trade platform. Oh, well, it looks like Trump is coming out of course and trying to take a political advantage here. Look, here's the thing. This is guaranteeing a second Trump administration. What you think? And this is gonna get worse, and Trump's gonna blame Biden for this. He's gonna be the one holding the bag. Yeah, trades. There's 30 different banks that have stopped trading today already. They stopped trading because the red line's going down too fast. Yeah, I mean, it's not good. It's not good. It's gonna get worse, much worse before it gets better. Elections have consequences. I have a feeling aliens gonna bail us out. New rules have dropped, and it says monopoly. See, like I said, it's monopoly. It's fake money what they're using here. What if the bank runs out of money? Some players think the bank is bankrupt. It runs out of money. The bank never goes bankrupt. To continue playing, use slips of paper to keep track of each player's banking transactions, and so the bank has enough paper money to operate again. The banker may also issue new money on slips of ordinary paper. Yeah, that's what's going on here. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's new monopoly rules. It is not looking good. It is not fucking looking good for the banking system here in the United States. And I'm sure Putin's laughing his ass off, like somebody in the chat said, because ultimately, I mean, Russia's in good shape with the ruble and stuff. They're fine overall. They're much better in position than we are. We're kind of fucked here in the United States. This is interesting. Wall Street Silver. What is this account? Social media. We just like silver. Seems to be a legitimate account. If you thought Silicon Valley Bank was bad, the Fed is sitting on unrealized losses of $1.2 trillion on their $8.3 trillion bond portfolio. And the Fed is losing money every day by paying cash to commercial banks via reverse repos. I don't know what reverse repos are, but it sounds bad, obviously. Realized gains, losses, and change in unrealized gain position. $1.2 trillion of losses. Yeah, that sounds bad. That sounds really bad for the Fed. Holy fuck. I have to do more research on what's reverse repos, unless somebody in the chat know what they are. Because I never heard of reverse repos, and I don't want to, speculate on what they are. Maybe I can come back tomorrow on the stream and do some research and tell you guys what reverse repos are. Canada is having problems with their banks too. Yeah, this is going to spread around the world probably because U.S. banks kind of, have tentacles around the world. U.S. banks, this happened in 2008 essentially. All the U.S. banks started failing, so most of the world's banks started failing. Unless they're outside the U.S. system, then they're straight. They're good. Like Russia, don't have to worry about this. India, I'm not sure about India, but most of these countries, most countries that are connected to the U.S., yeah, they're gonna get much worse. More banks are gonna start failing. all central banks are connected is going to spread. Yeah, it's definitely going to spread. I don't know what reverse repos are. I mean, let me see what I can reverse repos. A reverse purchase agreement conducted by the desk, also called a reverse repo, is a transaction in which the desk sells security to an eligible counterparty with an agreement to repurchase the same security at a specified price at a specific time in the future. Oh, so it's like a loan, basically. It's like a loan where the original bank sells something to an eligible counterparty, most likely another bank, with an agreement to repurchase the same security at a specified price with a specific time in the future. So basically, it's like a loan. It's like, here, you give me cash money, I'll give you this, and I'll repurchase it later at said price. So it's like a loan, basically, and a scam. I mean, or yeah, that it's one of those scams, that the banks love to run. They run a shit ton of scams. So what time is it? Holy shit. Let me check on my chicken real quick, my roasting chicken. I'll be right back in like a minute or so. Alright, back. Chicken's fine. Still roasting. I just had to make sure, because it smelled like it was burning a little bit. So. Yeah, the chicken's fine. Thank you for your concern. It felt like it was burning, and I realized, holy shit, it's almost 4 o'clock. But and I put it in around 1 something, or 2 o'clock almost. Actually, it was. That's what it was. The banking crisis is not crypto's fault. Well, I'm sure they're trying to blame crypto for it. First Republic Bank down 65%. Charles Schwab down 20%. The bank collapses in full motion. The Biden administration busy touting woke policies plus planning on giving more money to Ukraine. What the fuck? Oh look, the stock market crash is up next. Go woke or go woke, go broke. I mean, look, it's kind of silly. It's kind of not unfair, but it's kind of, intellectually lazy just to blame Biden for this. Every U.S. president post Bill Clinton is responsible in some way. But unfortunately, most Americans don't think that way. Unfortunately for Biden, they're going to end up blaming the Biden administration for this because he's the one holding the bag. He's president right now. He ran for president. He defeated Trump, and now he's stuck holding this bag. There's no way that they'll try. There's no way that they'll blame. Biden trying to blame Trump, but there's no way that Trump's going to take responsibility and blame Biden because he's the one president. I think they'll try to implement a digital currency after this crash. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But, I don't like digital currencies myself. I mean, that's a terrible idea, at least for us, not for the elite, but for us. Because here's the thing, though, with digital currencies, they can take away your money anytime. If you're like anti-establishment, anti-this, they can say, oh, like they're doing with Venmo and like they're doing with PayPal, like they're doing with what was it, the Cash App? I forget what it's called. The Cash App, where you send cash to the people to that app. Like they have policies that if you're anti-Ukraine war, if you're anti-gay, for whatever you are, they get to keep your money, and and not let you have access to your money. So yeah, that's a terrible idea. Go to digital currency, and I don't think it'll pass Congress anyways. I mean, the Republicans are going to be against it. The Democrats ought to be in favor of it, but Republicans will be against it, and you're not going to have 60 votes in the Senate to pass it anyway. So, but yeah, you have to. I'm not saying don't be vigilant. You have to be vigilant and make sure that this stuff doesn't pass any digital currencies in the United States. But yeah, that's what reverse repo is essentially. U.S. banks collapse. Banks. Let me see. These are all the banks that are down. Goldman Sachs is down 3%. JP Morgan Chase is down 1%. Morgan Stanley 1.17%. Wells Fargo is down at 5.4%. Bank of America is down 4%. Citigroup is down 6.4%. American Express is down 3.3%. UBS Group is down 4.2%. State Something Corp is down 5%. Bank of New York, I guess, is down 5%. Charles Schwab is down 4%. Prudential Financial is down 6%, let's round up. Invesco is down 1%. And Evercore is down 3.9%. Holy fuck. I mean, look, every bank is down. Every single bank is down. Not a single bank has been unaffected right now. Holy shit! Look at this. Look, I'm not sure. Hopefully, this is a parody. There's no way. Is this real? She real? Seems like she's real. It doesn't say parody anywhere. Look at this. I want you guys to see. Look at this account. The GOP is just making stuff up. There's no bank crash. There's no bank run. There's no bank collapse. Crypto is crashing, and the Ponzi is folding. The sooner we shut it down, the faster Russia exit Ukraine. How do you think Russia is financing this war? Not vodka or nesting dolls. Wait, what? How, I don't know how the hell she makes a connection between crypto and Russia, or there's no bank crashing. Doesn't say it's a parody. I mean, I'm hoping it's a parody. I'm hoping this is a parody account. Nobody actually just stupid or ignorant. I mean, I don't. Must be a ridiculous partisan hack. I mean, my God. There's no spike in crime. There's no mass layoffs. There's no bank collapse. There's no Jewish space laser. There's no Pizzagate. There's none of that. Simply Republicans with nothing better to do to spread lies on social media. The GOP are useless. I'm hoping this is a parody account, but nobody can be that stupid. Like, wait, let me actually show you this, because I just realized that you guys didn't see this, and I'm reading it like it's some kind of, like you guys are seeing it and you can't. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I didn't show it. I had it over here in reverse repos, and I just did all this talking and didn't show you the tweets at all that I was talking about. So this is what I was This is what I was reading from this account. It doesn't say it's a parody on her or anything. They're followed by partisan Democrats. Yeah, I know some of these accounts. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say it's a parody, so I'm assuming this is real. The GOP is making up this stuff. There's no bank crash. There's no bank run. There's no bank collapse. Crypto is crashing. The Ponzi is folding. The sooner we shut it down, the faster Russia exits Ukraine. How do you think Russia's financing this war? Not vodka, not nesting dolls. So she claiming, I don't know how she's claiming that there's no bank crashes or runs or collapsing or anything like that. And she somehow connects it to Russia. This is somehow like Russia's financing the war through crypto. There's no evidence of that. They just came to an economic deal, I think, with, it's in India, or it's not China. Hold on. They came to an economic deal recently, so I did see that this morning. Hold on a second. Russia. Let's go to top news. While U.S. banking sector is collapsing and industrialization is weakening Europe, the most sanctioned country in the world, Russia, is reporting a record high surplus of 67%, with exports up 20%, making the Biden administration incompetent and increasingly impotent globally. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, the Biden administration is the worst. Like Karen said, the worst president ever in the chat. I know that Russia came to an economic deal with some country recently. While Germany is imposing sanctions upon sanction on Russia, the same Russia is surpassing Germany in GDP. Yeah, there it is right there. There's Russia above Germany in GDP. Yeah, I wonder how the Germans feel about that. But they won't get rid of these sanctions because the US won't let them. And the Germans are good little puppets for the United States, so like the Germans would Russia's training with the whole world instead of except the West. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I'm not. Yeah, that's why the West is not trading with them through stubbornness, really, because this is true. This is, and anybody who's has common sense would say there's no way that Biden Russia's economy will be devastated by sanctions, and further sanctions are under consideration. Janet Yellen says. Can't even say her name right. Today, or not today, but in February, Russia economy is now forecast to grow faster than Germany's and Britain in 2023. How is that possible? Deputy Global Editor Nikhil Kumar, an IMF forecast puts numbers on a problem for the West when it comes to Russia's war in Ukraine. Yeah, actually, Russia has deals with India and China and a lot of the bigger economies in the world, economic deals. And we're losing out on it because we insist on fucking attempting to sanction Russia to death, and it's not working. It's really failing, but they're stubborn. America and its puppets in the West and Western Europe, are stubborn, so they're going to continue fucking doing. Yeah, Saudi Arabia. That's another one. That's another one I missed. In Iran, I think Iran was the country that they came to an economic deal. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I mean Russia is all over the world, and we can't even have Russian vodka now. I love Russian vodka, and we can't even have it now because of the sanctions. So that sucks. It sucks for me. Mm. Joe Biden sanctions major Russian banks in 2022. 2023 is second and third largest bank failures in American history. Why are we fighting $100 billion proxy war with nuclear armed Russia when American banks are collapsing? A good question. Yeah, Russian banks are not collapsing, but the U.S. banks are. So what? It seems like Biden put sanctions on U.S. banks. That's what it seems like. Clearly, his sanctions are working. Excuse me. The U.S. has no. Here's Lindsey Graham. I like the path we're on. The U.S. weapons and money. Ukraine will fight Russia until the last person. Yeah, it's not us. It is not us. That's why Lindsey Graham gladly willing to fight until the last person in Ukraine.
I like the structural path we're on here. As long as we help Ukraine with the weapons they need and the economic support, they will fight to the last person.
Yeah, it's not us. It's not the United States. It's not the United States. It's us. You know, it's Ukraine that's fighting. So it's almost 4, and I gotta. I gotta cook other food soon, so I'll probably wrap up in a few minutes. This is the longest I've ever gone on stream, and my ass is kind of bothering me. And my ADD, I want to desperately get up and do other things. But Russia made sure they can handle any sanctions from the West before they started military operation in Ukraine last year. Yeah, the Russians know our playbook. I'll wrap up with this last thing. The Russians know our playbook, though. Let me just go back to myself here. Here we go. The Russians know our playbook, or the West playbook, which is because they did it. We did it in what? We did it in Iraq. We did it in Afghanistan. We did it in any country we invade. We do sanctions. Oh, Venezuela, that's the big one. We did sanctions, and that's what we do. I mean, it was like because boots on the ground is politically unpopular and always will be. Actually, all the wars we're in, but sanctions. Oh, that's fine. U.S. troops are on the ground, so whatever. Let's do sanctions, and then do sanctions upon sanctions upon sanctions until supposedly this country is going to be on its knees economically, and they do whatever we tell them to do. That's how it doesn't work. It hasn't worked in Russia because Putin knows our playbook. So they insulated their economy from us before they invaded. So that's exactly what happened. And the United States hasn't changed its strategy. Instead, it's like, oh, well, let's keep doing more sanctions. That'll work, right? Oh, it hasn't worked so far? Yeah, who cares? Let's keep doing more sanctions. It'll work eventually, right? So that's their attitude, and they'll continue doing sanctions. And Europe can freeze. Europe can pay triple in gas prices because they have to buy from America now. So our American industry makes more money, while Europe and the European people are fucked, severely fucked, because now they have to pay triple in gas prices. They have to pay more in electric. They have to pay more in bills and food prices and stuff, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I wonder how long Western Europe lasts with being puppets to the U.S. because their citizens are not happy. Their citizens are not happy at all, and we're not happy here in the U.S. either. Well, these wars and stuff, the West. Yeah, I mean, it's not good. It's not good. It's gonna get worse. So those are gonna be my closing thoughts. I know that in the thumbnail I put Krystal and Kyle there, and I thought I won't get to it, but I'm gonna put it there anyways just in case. I'll probably get to that tomorrow in my tomorrow stream, maybe, because they did a video with Trump and they started to talk about how important Trump was and how important Trump's indictment in New York is, and acting like that's going to take Trump down somehow. And I wanted to cover that, but I'm not going to have time for it today because it's almost 4 and I have to, cook dinner. So, yeah, I wanted to thank you guys for joining me here. I mean, there's a lot of what's what I'm looking for, engagement today, and I appreciate all the engagement. I appreciate all the chats. I had a good time, and I had a good time talking to you guys. But at the same time, this is not good. This is going to get much worse. Maybe I'll cover more Fallout tomorrow. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I know I did. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you do all that good stuff. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you guys most likely tomorrow at the same time, 2:15, 2 o'clock. Hope you guys enjoy.